So my name is Jaspers. I'm from Belgium. I came to Zurich to join the Neurocontrol of Movement Lab with the Marie Curie fellowship I have. And the research I do here is really focused on children with unilateral cerebral palsy, so children who are born with a brain lesion. My motivation to apply for the Marie Curie Fellowship was actually because it is a scholarship that really offers young researchers to move on in their career, because it allows you to go to a host lab and to gain further expertise in the areas you're interested in, which is also why I chose a Neurocontrol of Movement Lab. And it's a grant that covers not just your paycheck or not just the research, so it really allows you to get the full package. If you do research, there's always a question of searching for money or applying for grants to improve your CV. So you want your CV to be as good as possible to move up the academic ladder. And I think the Marie Curie Fellowship is really a good way of improving your CV if you are able to attain it. I was very happy to succeed with it. It was a challenge writing it, because you want to present innovative ideas. You want to really show that you're going to have an added value. And I think the key really was talking with Nikki a lot about what is feasible, what is not, what might be interesting. Literature, you read up what is there already, what is needed. And because I have a clinical background, I can also assess, or for my own personal interests, what would be interesting for us to gain from this. And it's combining those different angles and viewpoints that really gave this project an added value, I think, which made it succeed. Yeah.
My name is Nicole Wenderoth. I'm the head of the Neurocontrol of Movement Lab at ETH. My lab is investigating how the brain controls movement. The interesting thing of the setup of our department, Health Sciences and Technology, is that we try to bridge the gap between fundamental science and really applications in patients. Ellen was a trained physiotherapist. She was not only an academically trained physiotherapist, but also a physiotherapist with a PhD. So she understands very well what research is like, but she also understands very well what clinical research is like. And that was really the expertise I wanted to bring to my lab. And therefore, Ellen and myself, we started to talk to each other. You know, we were lucky. So we knew each other from Leuven. She was in a different department, and I was actually part of a PhD commission. So therefore, I knew what she was doing. And I also knew her research, and I knew Ellen as a person. Yeah, you know, all good things start in the kitchen. So that is where this also started. So we met over a coffee, and I was actually just thinking about how to build up my lab. And I knew that Ellen has just finished her PhD and she was looking for a postdoc position. And I thought, actually, Ellen, I would look for somebody with exactly your profile. Would you join me to Switzerland? And that is how we started to talk. And then Ellen was willing to go abroad. She was looking to go abroad. What I think is always a very good idea for a young postdoc, you know, to not stay in the cozy nest where you have done your PhD, but really push yourself and leave your comfort zone and go somewhere else, into a different culture, into a different scientific culture, into a new area, but also in a different country. We as the professors, I think we have a feeling for the candidates who really have an outstanding CV. And Ellen was one of these candidates. And what we then did was we had the expertise of Ellen, we had our own expertise in the lab, which was really complementary. And I think we brought it together to a project where we had the strengths of both, and here the sum is more than the parts. So we really think we could demonstrate a very nice synergy effect, that we can do better research than everybody of us alone. And another aspect we put a lot of emphasis on is really to develop Ellen as a fellow, because that, I think, is also important. Our postdocs are not only here to be independent researchers. We want to give them further training, and we want to give them opportunities that they can build up their own career, because ideally we want them to stay in academia. They are the best people around. So it would be a pity if they would drop out. But we also know that nowadays everything is so competitive that even very, very good scientists might not have the chance to stay in academia. So whatever we can do to push that and to keep our talents around, I think we should do. I would definitely recommend to apply to the Marie Curie program. Of course, the precondition is still you need to find an excellent postdoctoral fellow. But when you find this person, and if you can develop a project together with your fellow, I think you bring very, very high quality scientific expertise to Switzerland. And you know, the lab is benefiting from bringing in new views, you know, having people from different cultures, different scientific cultures, but also general cultures, how to behave in a lab and so forth. So my group has really the benefit of being international, of being multidisciplinary, and to get ideas and inspiration from each other. And I think that's very important. Of course, in Zurich we have EU grant access, and they are really helping a lot with the administration. So the first thing to say about that, this office is helping us so much with, you know, the day-to-day work we have to do. So it's extremely easy. They make it extremely easy for us to apply. It's still a lot of pages and lots of documents you have to fill, because the EU is forcing you not only to think about the project, you have to think about the career plan, you have to argue why the host institution is interested in the fellow and the other way around. So you have to be very explicit about why do I want to have this person here. But I actually think that's a good thing. So it really makes you aware of a few things that are important for you as running the lab, but also, you know, having an eye on the career of the postdocs that are working with you. And I think that is important as well.